Hey, get in here, get in here. Welcome back to my Urban Bread podcast, Birth of a Nation. I want to pull some cards today because I've been compelled once again to get out a reading for the collective. So we're going to see exactly what's going on in this reading. I will be using the Classic Tarot deck, of course. So this is my Classic Tarot deck. And I will be using the Urban Truth Oracle cards. So this is my Urban Truth. This is a new deck. So this will be my first time using this deck. So I just wanted to get a feel of it and see what's going on in our energy today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. But let's see what the cards say for today. First card to come out is the Hangman. And the Hangman came out in the upright. So this is the Hangman card. Let's see. Next card to come out is the Queen of Wands. Let me see. You have been enlightened about something, and this also speaks on going deeper within, right? Releasing some old things. That way you can step into your new. With the Queen of Wands coming out in the upright, it shows that you have the courage and the independence to do that. You closed some sort of cycle, obviously. But you have been enlightened. You closed that cycle because obviously you came to a realization about something. The next card to come out is the Magician, and it's in the upright. Once again, we speaking on these beginnings, these new beginnings that you all are manifesting out there. Let me see what my Oracle deck says. For my first card to come out Oracle deck, it says Passive Shade. That's the card right there. And this card is saying subtle tone reveals hidden resentment. The real message is hidden between the lines. Shade. You have people in your energy that is still not happy about what you have going on. I want to know why they're not happy about what you got going on. Okay. Some people have realized that you were the actual prize in whatever dynamic this was. People are coming to some realizations that you were the actual prize and not them. So I see that some people are having a huge ego death when it comes to you and the choice that you made. You obviously walked away from some people and some energies that didn't want to see you shine, didn't want to see you thrive. But they have realized now that you were the actual prize and not them. So like I said before, some people are having some ego deaths around here. You know, a lot of people, maybe relationships that you were in, whether it was romantic, friendships or whatever, you know, they probably were thinking that they were the ones, like maybe, you know, like you couldn't make it without them or you couldn't do certain things without them. But they have been going through huge ego deaths, you know, and you have pretty much mirrored back to them, you know, their true selves. Like you're the opposite of them, right? So they see now that everything wasn't all about them and everything wasn't as centered around them as they tried to make it, that you were actually the one. You were the prize, baby. Okay, it's saying that right there. Let me get another card from my Oracle deck. Okay, detach. I know my cousin did something on detachment, right? But with this detach with grace, you can leave without anger. You can withdraw without noise. Your peace always stays intact. Okay, so you walked away from something and you remained intact. You remained you know, with your grace, with your morals, with everything, you know, like that's kind of like some of those things that some things that were meant to destroy you or kill you only pretty much made you stronger, you know. So you did a deep dive into self, and you also caused that person or those people that you walked away from to take a closer look at themselves, right? Because you walked away with grace. Meanwhile, they are pretending that they happy for you, but they're really not. They're really hiding a lot of resentment, mad because maybe you closed that cycle that they didn't think would ever close. You know, some people could keep you on an emotional roller coaster, whether it's family or friends or lovers. I'm going to pull again from my tarot. I can see already what to call this. You need to realize that you are the prize. You always were. You were always the one. Even though people will try to make you feel like you're not, or try to make you feel less than what you are, you know, that's because they lack confidence and they try to really tear you down and tear your confidence down. Some people can't stand the fact that you are confident as you are. That you are as confident as you are. This card flew out. I'm going to go ahead and take both of them. So the next I have the Queen of Pentacles that came out and the Knight of Wands. That's the Queen of Pentacles. And this is the Knight of Wands. I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on because I don't know why I'm up here struggling, acting like I can see everything. So with the Queen of Pentacles coming out in the upright, you are very nurturing. See, you were providing a lot of financial security to a whole lot of people, right? And once you took that energy back, you've been moving full force ahead, right? Because you were inspired to take that type of action, right? Which was to move away from some of those energies. And people are starting to realize now, they're starting to see, and I'm pretty sure you're starting to see, that you were the one funding mostly everything. You were the one that was nurturing all of these relationships and probably was getting nothing back in return. You know, that's what the Queen of Pentacles is. She's nurturing. She's usually a mother, a parent, you know, and you were providing a lot of financial support to a lot of people. But I'm pretty sure that now other people around them see that it wasn't just all them, even though they try to make like it was probably them that was financing everything, or that, you know what I'm saying, that was just running the show. But they have come to a realization, baby, and the people around them have come to a realization. They see now exactly what it is, because once you removed your energy, that person pretty much has no direction, and they have nobody to compare themselves to now, because you're no longer in the picture. And all the people that they are around are low vibrational just like them. So it's not even worth comparison, because they're all the same. And you left them to sit in that energy and be around those people that are at a low vibration just as them. The next one to come out, I have a few cards to come out, but I'm going to take this one. This one, this is the, let's see, this is the Four of Pentacles. No, I'm sorry. This is the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is the Six of Pentacles, and it came out in the upright. See, you were a very generous person, and you were overgiven in certain relationships, you know, or take it how it resonates. You know, it could be one particular relationship that you may be thinking of, but you were the one that was overgiven. You know, you were the one that had everything. You were the people can pull on your energy, pull on your finances, you know, just pull on your spirit and just leave you drained emotionally, you know, spiritually, physically, financially, all of that. And so you were around a lot of people that were taking, you know, just taking from you. That's exactly what it is. But you've now gained clarity on the people or person that you had in your energy that was pretty much leaving you depleted. You know how you can pour and pour into somebody else's cup or other people's cups and nobody's pouring back into you? That leaves you depleted, right? And that keeps you second guessing yourself, because it can also weigh you down in other ways, like as far as your mental, you know, it have you thinking that you have to really like depend on this person or depend on these people, and maybe you cannot make it without them. But with that Hangman coming out and the Hangman coming out in the upright, you have been enlightened. You came into a realization that you don't need all these people. You don't need all these different energies around you, or you don't need this person around you, because they were doing nothing but bringing you down and taking from you, taking your peace, your joy, your love, your light, just anything that they can take, because you are the prize. You are the one. You are that one that everybody may be dependent on, you know, and you kind of like had to show people that you need to do what's best for you now. So that's what a lot of y'all are doing. You're doing exactly what you were meant to do, because some of those card attachments were meant for you to break and to cut, you know, because it's time for other people to stand on their own. Let me pull another spread. So the next card I have to come out in the upright is the Six of Swords, okay? Transitioning, yes, you left behind something. You released something. This right here shows, you see how he's moving forward or whatever, and he's leaving, he's not looking back. You have moved forward. You have transitioned. You have changed. You left behind some of that old baggage, and you are moving on with your life. You definitely cut some cord attachments on things that were no longer serving you, were no longer serving your highest good. So that's definitely a good thing, because that was doing nothing but bringing you down, bringing your energy down, having you in your head, keeping you guessing, gaslighting your own intuition, all of that stuff. But you have released a lot of that stuff, and you're making it. You are making it, and you are doing exactly what it is that you need to do. Pull from the Oracle deck again. The next card to come out, half in, half out. This one. They stay close but avoid commitment. Their actions show hesitation. The connection feels paused in the middle. This is that half in and half out. Let me tell you something. This with pulling this card, I can already tell you, you had somebody in your energy that pretty much was staying close to you, out of what they can get from you. They half in and half out. They straddle the fence. They only want to be around you because they can benefit from you. Okay. For a lot of you, this was more than one person. You had people that were pretty much being around you out of everything that they can get from you or what they can benefit off of you. Right. And so you have cut those cord attachments, and you have let people, fend for themselves now. My mom used to always say, you're going to either sink or swim. So you are in the energy now where you are letting people figure that out and figure their own lives out, because as long as a lot of people stayed attached to you, they were never gonna, maybe for a lot of them, grow up. They're never gonna do what it is that they really need to do. And a lot of people you have to let sit with themselves, because for some of y'all out there, my collective, I know I've been through it. You were pretty much being used in a whole lot of situations, but you took your energy back from those situations, and you are now pouring back into yourself. So just remember, you had a lot of people around you that were only around you for what they can benefit off of you, okay? But come to the realization, if you haven't already, that you are the prize. You were the prize. You were the glue. You were the one that was keeping everything going. Keeping everything intact and everything together. Even though those people tried to make it like they were the ones doing all the work, or you couldn't make it without them or whatever. But people are seeing now, and they're seeing themselves, that they've come to their realization because the Holy Spirit showed them that what you can do, because you are elevating right in the presence of a lot of people. You know how biblically it says he will make your enemies your footstool? Well, that's what is going on right now. A lot of y'all are in that energy, and God is allowing these people to see your glow up and to see your come up without them being around. For a lot of those people, that's part of their karma. Their karma is watching you elevate, watching you move on, watching you glow up. You know why? Because once again, you're the prize. You always were. You just had to believe it. You just had to know it. You just had to pull your power back from certain situations and remember who you are and get that inner strength back, Pull another spread. I already know what I'm going to call this. So when I post this video, I will be posting the title along with it. I keep saying it over and over and over. You are the prize. You are the one. Stop lying to yourself. Denial, okay? Yeah, these people have come to some realizations, They have, you have caused a lot of people you have forced them to take a look at the man in the mirror. You have a lot of people out there that are reflecting right now. They were lying to themselves. They were gaslighting themselves, into thinking that you couldn't make it without them, or that you would not be nothing without them, and with doing a lot of that stuff, they blocked a lot of their own blessings, because they were not in the energy to receive maybe, the type of person that you were. For my collective, like the blessing that God gave them, a lot of people just misused it, misused your energy and just played in your face, and on your top behind a whole lot of different situations, but God has forced them to see now. God has forced them to take a look in the mirror, like they can no longer lie to themselves, because everybody else see it, that you were the glue. You were the one that was really holding everything together. They were in denial, right? And the people that you were around, they were not only lying to themselves, but they were lying to other people too. They were probably trying to make you out to be this hard to deal with person, this bad person, you know, like you couldn't be trusted, or you can't get along with nobody, whatever, when in actuality, it was really them. You know, they were lying to themselves. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, the Holy Spirit has forced them to take a look at themselves, right? And the Holy Spirit has forced them to take a front row seat of your come up, of your glow up, of everything and all the blessings that were meant for you because of the good seeds that you sowed on good ground, the seeds that you planted, right? You reaping your harvest right now. And if you haven't already, you will, especially if you already cut ties with certain people and certain energies. You know, you're going to do nothing but glow up. That's all you can do. Only way to go from now is up. That's the only place you can go now is up. I'm going to take another oracle card because I kind of like these Herb of Truth cards. Look at the next one that came out, okay? This one say you already know. Your intuition has spoken. You sense the answer deep inside. Now it's time to follow it. For a lot of y'all, even if you haven't walked away from those relationships, you already have the answer. You know, hopefully this reading is confirmation. And stop doubting your intuition. You already know that you have to leave certain people behind. You already know that you had people in your energy that was just taken from you and not given from you. And if you wonder why your energy was always low, or why you were always tired and, you know, wasn't really motivated, it's because you have too many people, or, you know, pulling off of your energy. You know, like you kind of have like too many irons in the fire. You're trying to do for everybody, but nobody's really doing for you. You know, it's kind of like one of them things when you like, okay, I can give and give to everybody else, but when I need something, there's nobody else around, right? That's because you are the prize. You are the one that everybody else needs, but they have gaslighted you so much, and you have gaslighted yourself so much into thinking that you can't make it without certain people, or you can't make it without being in certain places or in certain atmospheres. Okay, you already know what it is. Okay, take that deep dive and self-reflect on your own strengths, you know, because you need to come back into remembrance of who you are. You have to remember that you are the one. You are the one with the winning hand, baby. You are the one that's gonna win at the end, because your heart never changed. You know, you're not out here trying to do people dirty. You know, you're not trying to, you know, stab people in the back or knock them down in order to get up. You know how some people will throw you under the bus just to save their own ass? You know, you have been walking around here pretty much moving with integrity, right? And so for those moves that you made, for those seeds that you planted, you have nothing but blessings on the way. But you cannot be in the midst of blessing blockers. You cannot be in the midst of certain energies that's steady bringing you down, wearing you down, leaving you depleted. Because like I said before, you definitely cannot manifest like that, and you definitely cannot manifest no new beginning if you have certain low vibrational energies just in your midst all the time. You understand what I'm saying? It's leaving you off balance. It's leaving your emotions all over the place. You know, when you're off balance, you cannot manifest the desires of your heart like that. And I said that in one of my other readings in one of the episodes of, you know, my podcast. I said the same thing, that you have to be balanced. Everything has to have balance in order for you to up your frequency, you know, your vibration. It has to be high enough to where you can speak things into existence. But you're not going to ever be able to do that if people have you second guessing yourself and you doubting yourself, you know. And part of not doubting yourself is knowing that you can stand alone, knowing that you can stand on your own, and you don't have to depend on these different energies in order, you know, to make you whole. Okay. That's what I need a lot of y'all to know. I'm going to pull another spread, and then we're going to close this out because I didn't want to keep y'all long. Consider this like a little lunch break message, something to give you confirmation and motivation, okay? So I hope that this reading has done that for some of you. The next card to come out is the Knight of Swords. I'm going to pull the top card and the Ten of Pentacles. So for a lot of y'all, you're going to have some of these people like in lack, okay? When you walk out, if you haven't walked out already, they're going to see who was pretty much maybe the breadwinner, or who was doing, you know what I'm saying, what they were supposed to be doing financially. Because some of these people had so many people fooled. They had the social media's fooled, Facebook fooled, the family fooled. They had everybody fooled into thinking that you couldn't make it without them, and that they were the ones bringing in this and that. But baby, the Holy Spirit is revealing all of that. You're moving full speed ahead. You're already ambitious. You're going to succeed because you're driven, okay? This is the Knight of Swords, right? That's your energy as well. You see how that person is charging ahead? You are being called to keep on moving. Don't look back. Full speed ahead, okay? Remember that you are the prize. So when I end this video, I'm going to end it with this. I kept saying I need to come up with a title, but y'all already know. This is the title. You're the prize. So do not forget that. You are the prize. You are the one, okay? Go ahead and close out those cycles and remove those energies that you know mean you no good. Go ahead and get rid of all that stuck and stagnant energy and that depleting energy that you have around you. Take your power back. Remember who you are. You've got this. You can make it. So keep going. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.